Welcome to Life List, a birding podcast.
Hello. Welcome, everyone. This is Life List, a birding podcast. I am George Armistead here with my co-hosts Molly Brown and Alvaro Jaramillo. So I got to ask you guys straight out of the gate, what do you think is the best birding movie ever?
Definitely The Big Year, right?
What do you think, Nostradamus?
Listers.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
I think that's the right answer. I'm going to go with Alvaro on this one. Molly definitely took the bait. Today we have Owen and Quentin from the Listers movie. Guys, I forgot to ask how to pronounce your last name. Is it Reiser or Reiser?
It's Reiser.
German. That's what I was going to say.
Early
Owen
risers.
and Quentin, it is really an honor to have you guys here. Welcome to the show.
How we doing?
Yeah.
This
Good.
is the
Thanks for
only
having us.
It's the only birding podcast we're doing, as we said. It's an honor.
The best birding podcast on the planet.
Thanks.
Best one. It's the best one.
There we go. Yeah. Well, we have been I've been following you guys. Like, I followed the whole year, and I was like, this is different. And people started sending me your stuff like right away. And I was like, I know, I'm watching. Like, I was like, these guys are funny. They're all into it. And it's like, it was just a new thing.
Some people might not even know that whole background too, though, George. Like last year, we were getting all these little reels and stuff that started showing up. The early worm gets the bird, and we're like, "What's this? It's funny. Who the hell are these guys?" And I think now that the Listers movie is out, and people now kind of put it all together, that it was sort of a whole long-term project that was going on. I think a lot of us just sort of like, what the heck is this? This is funny. It's like, and the movie's funny too. Hella
thanks,
funny.
guys. Yeah, the short form stuff is a good way to funnel people to like a longer form piece of content too, and that helps for sure. But yeah, those are fun. Just editing those like in the van, just like Final Cut Pro in the van, just grinding it out. But yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah. Did you do you still have the van?
I was going to ask, where's that Kia Sedona?
Yeah, Quentin's got the Kia Sedona. It's all his. 2010 Kia Sedona. I think we put like 50,000 miles on it or something. Quentin can drive like a maniac, so.
So, I mean, here's what I want to say about the movie. Like, I had no idea that you guys mentioned you were going to make something, but then it kind of came out of the blue, like, on YouTube, Listers, a glimpse into extreme bird watching. And people were like, a day after, were like, already everybody's watching this thing. And they're like, you got to see this. Everybody's got to see this. And immediately you had birders from all over the place that I'm in connection with and stuff saying, this is the movie we've always wanted about birding. And that nobody was able to kind of put it together or even dream of it. And I thought, like, that's a huge accomplishment, guys. Like, this is actually, for a lot of us, this is our whole, it's sad, but it's our whole life, these birds. And talking about birds and showing people birds. But you made something that had made fun of us. It also was funny. It taught people stuff. And it wasn't, to my mind, it was respectful of the entire situation because we know it's crazy, right? We kind of know it's crazy.
It is.
We have to defend some of our behaviors.
It's crazy. It's definitely crazy.
It is.
And it was just a great bit of journalism. Like, it's like just documenting all this stuff. I'm really impressed. Like, I really liked it. I've yet to see anybody that I respect say it was not a great film. You guys should be super proud.
Well, thank you.
It means a lot.
We definitely saw that stuff with birders as we got to know them and got into birding. At first, we saw that they were crazy. You guys are crazy. We're crazy now. But they're a passionate group. Like, they're extremely passionate about birds. And like, that's That's beautiful. That's what we found. I think the listing aspect is maybe not for everybody, but it was like a great intro to it. It was like a great way to get into it. And yeah, we saw that it was like there's an opportunity to make fun of this a little bit, but it's also super cool. And it has to do with nature, the outdoors. It's all good. Like it was ripe for opportunity, At first, we didn't plan to make a movie. We thought we would just be making some short videos and shooting the shit in the van. And then it just kind of kept spiraling and grew into this.
Well, first off, I've been telling folks that we're recording with the Reiser brothers. I don't know if you go by that, but I realize it sounds like Coen brothers in my head or something. The producer brothers. But yeah, I was curious if you had set out to do a documentary, and I thought maybe you wanted to do a documentary and you found that this was a topic that you could do it about, or vice versa, because it sure looks like you knew what you were doing when you put it together at the end. So
yeah, it was probably it was like March. I think it was like March where we were like, this has got to be like a feature length thing.
Yeah,
it was like January and February. We were like, maybe we could do like a series, like a 12-part series. It needed to be like a big piece. I think it was just as we went on and discovered more about like the culture. It's like this has got to be something, because it was a perfect situation too, where we're like outsiders, and like if you're an established birder, you're not gonna see like some of these weird intricacies of the community unless you're kind of an outsider, but also jumping all the way into it.
Yeah,
so
you
it's
have
like kind of a perfect storm,
Yeah, you have like fresh eyes for it, Whereas if you've been in it, you might not think driving overnight to go see a rare bird is insane. But to us it is, but
it's insane.
It's insane. But it's beautiful too,
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it too. Like I hope people took that away, that it's like there's a totally harmless.
Yeah.
It's a great thing to be doing at the same time.
It's way better than some hobbies, It's not the worst hobby out there, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you guys had a delicate balance to strike, and that you did that. Like, like sort of like I was saying, like what you guys were saying, what we do is weird. It's eccentric. It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. We have to have a sense of humor about ourselves. Some people are better at that than others, and yet it is a hobby. It's a lifestyle that is a healthy one. It's good, and you managed to elevate it while also pointing out why it's funny.
Yeah,
and I think that's a tricky thing to do, and you managed it really well, all with the journey, and you talked about the story arc, kind of in the film, even the hero's journey, all those Cracker Barrel parking lots, the country gravy, that I've only been to, I think, one Cracker Barrel, but I've been to it like 15 or 20 times. And I never tried the country gravy. So next time I go back, I'm definitely going to do that. By the way, Space Coast Birding Festival, there's some good Cracker Barrels down there.
Call 911 ahead of time before you jump into that gravy. It's no joke.
I will say that the filming of some of the antics outside of the Cracker Barrel very much recalled the one Cracker Barrel that I have been to. It really is a cultural hub of sorts. Yes.
Oh yeah. It's one of the great equalizers, the Cracker Barrel parking lot. It transcends socioeconomic status,
I figured with your hockey backgrounds, you probably felt like if you got in a scrape there, you'd come out all right. You might take a licking, but you probably keep on ticking.
Yeah. Took some, gave more. I think we'd be all right.
We'd be all right.
I mean, I want to know that is the choice of Cracker Barrel, was it because they're equally distributed throughout, if you're doing a year list, but like Waffle House, they kind of die out in the West, so you can't use Waffle House.
Well, there aren't many places like chains that still allow overnight parking, right?
Yeah.
Like we'd been traveling like across the United States extensively for, the past decade, road trips, hiking, backpacking. Occasionally you're near a city and you need a free place to camp. And it used to be you could stay in Walmart parking lots But most of them have gotten rid of that. But Cracker Barrel's kept it around. You know, they're holding it down. They'll let you sleep in the back without even eating there, and that's great. You know?
Nice.
But as you say that, they are pretty evenly distributed around the country. Like if you're near a good birding spot, there's usually a Cracker Barrel pretty close. Now, we didn't
You can
prefer
find a CB
Cracker
anywhere.
Barrels. Yeah, we wouldn't say we prefer Cracker Barrels by any means. We'd much rather be in the national
What
forest.
were your okay? I thought you were talking about like other dining, you know,
Denny's, like Denny's.
Establishments.
Yeah. yeah. And I was like, gosh, you know, I wonder what yeah. I mean, I saw you in the film. You guys do a lot of cooking. Look pretty good too with the peppers and all.
Oh,
Yeah.
Quentin's a chef. He's a chef.
Yeah, it did look good.
That I like to say that
Yeah.
that minivan has
I think the next
one Michelin-star.
Hey, that's more than just about anybody.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
yeah.
good.
Not Michelin tires though.
That's
That's
right.
got Douglas
Yeah.
all-season tires.
Yeah, it's got the
Can't
cheapest
afford
tires
those
they
Michelin
make.
tires.
No, there's $35 a piece, $40 a piece maybe.
It's a steal.
Should be illegal. Cheap. So, like the level of quality of the storytelling and those putting together the movie and the book, from what I've seen, right? Are you guys like? Did you just come up with these skills just on your own, or you guys trained, or like how did all that come about? Because like it's not like the average person can put together something that's just really good. Like how'd you come up with those skills?
Yeah, I've been working as like a camera operator for various nature documentaries for like 6 years. So I've kind of gotten, I kind of know how to push the right buttons and stuff. But Quentin's a first-time author for sure. Esteemed author.
Esteemed
Esteemed now. I can say that I'm an author now.
That must have been a learning curve.
Yeah, I'm walking around a little
Getting
more
more Pulitzer.
fancy now. I'm kind of doing this with my pinky a little bit more.
yeah, like sort of I'm turning that pinky as you drink your very like high-end tea brought from like Sri Lanka or
Yes.
something. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, I know what's in that cup. That's Folgers decaf
You
instant
know
coffee.
exactly
I know
what
what's
it
in
is.
there.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
That's decaf instant coffee.
Well, that'll change. That'll change once you're like, invited to the Cannes Film Festival or something,
I don't know. Can't
Quentin,
teach
are you
a
wearing your
dog
blue
old tricks.
Crocs right now?
No. Do you know about Owen's slides? He wore these Adidas slides
No.
for pretty much the whole year. He wore them down into the Grand Canyon. These things have been through it all. Those are the shoes we
You
need
know
to
what?
be talking about.
Oh, wow, look at those
Wow.
things.
I got them on right now, man.
Yeah, there's
Wow.
like one of the stripes is missing. They're so, like the
These
three
things are veterans.
Adidas stripes. There's like 2.5, maybe one stripe. Yeah.
Yeah, there needs to be like, you know how like war veterans have those pins?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need
It's
I need some of those.
A couple bird pens on
right.
Stolen valor.
Well, I've taken a beating at times for my Croc wearing. So
Yes.
I felt sort of vindicated, by seeing you sport those.
I respect the Croc.
Quentin, the Crocs.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
never had an
They
issue
have
with
their place.
Crocs.
George has got Crocs with like, little stickery doodads and stuff on them, It's like,
And the
Bedazzled
fur-
Crocs.
and they're fuzzy
Yeah, exactly.
inside.
Okay.
It's a different level of,
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I'd have to.
I mean,
I'd have to.
it's
Yeah.
Was really
They're
hoping you have
upstairs.
them on right now.
Yeah,
Right.
God, that should have
That'd be
planned that
good.
better.
Did you guys like? I mean, one thing too is like, you put out the movie on YouTube. Did you consider? I don't know how people make a movie, let alone release it. And if you like look around to some money person to like put it in a film festival or something, like how it works, or did you just want to do everything yourselves and just kind of go, this is what we're going to do? What was the choice of that going on?
Like our favorite documentaries are kind of just like indie, just for the people, like, just for free, put it out there. And it's funny because like just yesterday, Quentin and I have been talking, but like we've had some pretty important people. I got off the phone with a production company, and Scarlett Johansson had seen part of the film.
What?
The actress lady.
ScarJo. Wow.
Did she see my
Love it.
part?
I don't know. I'll have to
Just
ask.
joking.
But like there were some conversations about like I don't know. There's just some tough conversations.
Right,
That, like,
right.
if we could get it on a streaming platform, I'm very confident in that. And like, it's tough though, because then we'd have to take it down. Or we'd have to take it down like now if we wanted to do that. And I think we don't want to do that. I think we just want this to be for the people. It's just kind of like, we're just kind of done fiddling with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
We just kind of want to
yeah.
be done with it.
No, it's well, last I checked, like it's 300,000 views or something. That's insane. I mean, it deserves it. It deserves more views, but I'm like, so quickly, and everybody in the birding community is talking about it, like I said, but my son's like 21 years old, and his friends who are, they're like, sports dudes and whatever. They're not in the bird thing. They're, just got out of college, and they said, your dad's in a movie. He's like, and they've seen it, like, and I think it's so weird that it's transcended like to the non-birding public in a way that I think it will actually increase the number of people that are going to be birding. Like, you will have this impact on our entire community, which I think is going to be positive. I think more people that do this, the better. And especially if they don't necessarily have to do the listing bit, they could just like go and enjoy birds.
Right.
That's the key. But
That's,
I mean,
that would
it's
be
wild.
a huge takeaway for sure. That's like that'd be huge. We need more bird watchers,
Yeah. Get
Build
more eyes
birders.
out there.
Yeah, and I
build
think
more
you guys,
birders.
Yeah.
Build more birds.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where like I've shot on a bunch of these very conservation focused documentaries, and like they hammer home like the stuff that people need to hear about, but it like you can't really it's hard to force feed that stuff. So it's like kind of fun to just have like a goofy, silly, we're just mostly dicking off for a year.
Yeah. With undertones.
Hopefully
of that
people
stuff,
can see that it's a good time,
Yeah.
Okay, so I have questions about before you actually started your big year. So you obviously knew about birding. And I guess this is where we kind of talk about, like here on the podcast and with each other, about how so many people are getting into birding. But you didn't just know about enjoying birds in your backyard. You had researched what a big year was and the whole like rare bird concept and listing and everything that goes into that. So like how did you go from being completely outside of the birding world to preparing yourselves for a big year? What first got you interested, and how did you go from there to like being ready to go all cylinders on it?
Well, it was Quentin's bong. Why don't you fill her in on the bong?
Yeah, it was. It's as we said in the movie, that's actually how it started. I just was high one day and found the family's bird guidebook, the Golden Field Guide, the one with the blue cover. And we'd had it for years. Like we have several field guides around the house. We had this insect one that we were real into. We're into bugs and nature in general, but we weren't like guys who knew a bunch of species, and we weren't scientists, but we were interested in it. And
Definitely not.
I was high one day and I was flipping through the book and I was just looking at all these images and I was like, these are all in the United States. Like there's cardinals. I know that. Like there's a bald eagle. Like there's no way there's all these other birds out there. And
The rest are chickadees.
Yeah.
the rest are chickadees. I had just quit my job. I was doing computer programming. And I'd quit that job, and like we're kind of just like looking for something else to do. And I did a little bit of research and heard about this thing called the Big Year through, not even through that movie, the movie that you mentioned earlier, like the big Hollywood movie. I think we had seen
We've never
that.
even
Like
seen that movie. Like we don't.
Yeah.
I had seen portions of it like back when it came out, and I remember thinking like, this is ridiculous, and not really thinking much of it. But then, I did some research this time while I'm high and I'm like getting more into it. I'm like, big year. They go the whole year and try to find as many species as you can. Like, that's insane. Like, what's up with this? I had read a couple people's blogs about it, watched a YouTube video or two. And then like, I was like, all right, well, we'll just do this. Obviously the next step is to just do this. I've got the field guide. It's time to go, And so like, that was late 2023. So I picked up a camera and we just started going to like local parks and, finding a few birds here and there to get our touches in. We just got a little bit of practice, and we just decided we'd do it. And I like Google searched, states with the most birds, and it was like Florida, Texas, Arizona, California. So that was basically our planning. We were like, well, yeah, we'll just go to all those places and we'll find all the birds. It should be easy. We didn't really know about eBird or Merlin. We picked those up like at the start of the year, and we found out about the maps, and it's more of like a scavenger hunt. Like people told us it was like Pokemon Go,
Right.
if you'd ever heard of that app,
Yeah.
which we hadn't used, but we'd heard of it. It was kind of like a real life version of that. And honestly, we were just looking for a good reason to go on a road trip, because that's something that we were used to doing. Like, we're used to traveling and living like bums out of a car or wherever, sleeping at people's couches, parking lots, the woods, fish hatcheries, whatever. Like, that part of it, we had the advantage. Like, we're seasoned pros at living like bums. And then, yeah, we just decided to do it. We got our touches in, and then just got the van ready and headed out,
It's pretty funny because, you followed a route that a lot of people who put a lot of research in would follow. Look like, I was curious if you had looked at a previous big year road trip and modeled it after somebody else, because it looked like it was all very intentional.
Previous big year,
Yeah, we kind of.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think we just went to. We were just like, yeah, we'll do Florida and Texas because we wanted to get that out of the way before it was hot. Because we knew we're going to have no motels.
Yeah.
We're not paying to sit in a motel or hotel. So we were like, yeah, let's get that out of the way while it's decent weather down there.
Yeah. I think I'm no movie meta analyst or something, but some people have sort of said, oh, it's like best in show. It's like a mockumentary, and it's not. Like, it's an actual proper documentary about a funny subject done by funny people, right? And in a sense, I almost the only movie I can think of that has some elements of this old one called Cane Toads. That was about these people in Australia. They introduce these toads that become this rampant kind of
I've heard of them,
thing. And there's people who hate them, people who love them. And there's a guy who smokes or gets high on the toads. And there's all this kind of stuff, but it's all real. It's actually real.
Right. It's true. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. It's funny, but
it is true. Yeah. But it's a documentary about this crazy subject. And I think that's what I think it resonates with a lot of people. But I think the fact that you guys didn't know what, you hadn't really totally researched every single little thing about this, and you experienced it, meant you actually got it. A lot of people say these guys got the birding thing because you suffered the same crap that a lot of birders suffer through when they're trying to do this thing, whether it's just exhaustion, mosquitoes,
dealing with eBird
reviewers, and all of it. But then, to me, the part that I love the most is when you're sitting there, you've just seen that California thrasher. You woke up and you're like, I just saw this California thrasher. I'm hearing it. Nobody can take it away from me. Not this guy, not Eber, not Cornell, not ABA, whatever. And the powerful part of it, it's funny, but the powerful part is that's true. That's the actual essence of birding. It's you, the bird, and you look at each other, you see each other, you interact. And that is a moment in the world that can't be replicated exactly the same. It may not happen again exactly the same. And nobody can take away from you that one time. And it could be the same cardinal in your backyard that you look at it and you go, oh, crap, look at it. Oh, man, look, it's doing something crazy. And you almost want to tell somebody else about it. And nobody can take away that deal. It's like catching a fish, same kind of feeling. I don't know. It's just a really unique thing. And I think you captured it in your own crazy, rant.
The Montezuma quail sequence, I think, was also similar to that, where you guys were like, I wanted to see this thing, but like, holy shit, there it is. And it actually looks like it is amazing looking. Like, look at this thing. It's crazy. It's like a cartoon character.
It's a cartoon character. It's like it's like an alien or something.
Yeah. It's dressed. It's like a little. It's royalty.
incredible.
It's like a little prince or something. It's nuts.
And a cool name too.
Yeah.
Did you have any subjects that you guys, like, where you had moments like that and you were like, God damn, that was awesome, and we got nothing on, like where you were like, it was right there, but.
And like we didn't film it or maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it was mostly, we weren't like
filmed so much.
We filmed so much and like, we weren't too anxious about that.
There's so much that nobody's seen. Like, yeah.
Yeah, we weren't like, it was kind of like a muscle. Like Owen had it trained. Like we would go and find the bird and Owen knew like, we're going to capture this like as it happens. This is going to be the natural reaction to seeing this bird. Like you said, each one's unique. Like you're not going to be able to recreate that. And for us, most of the birds, 90% of them were lifers, So it was like, that's the first time we're seeing this. And like, we've so far only seen the pictures in the book and on the Merlin app and stuff. So when you see a Montezuma quail in real life and it looks just like it does in the book, that's my reaction, It's outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, my viewing experience with this, first off, we don't have cable or have any streaming subscriptions. So it was really awesome that it was on YouTube. And the three of us had talked about this before our last recording, and we were like, okay, well, I'll watch it. So I got about 10 minutes in. Well, first, I asked my husband, Jimmy, I was like, hey, I want to watch this. Do you want to watch it with me? And he was like, yeah, sure. Would you watch it on your own? And he said, no. I was like, all right, I'll just watch it on my own then. But I got to the point where you were talking about what it's like to identify shorebirds, which I think was like 10 minutes in. Yeah. And I was like, all right, I have to make Jimmy watch this with me. So we watched it over 3 nights. And just before we went to bed, so we watched like maybe 40 minutes the first night. The second night, Jimmy came home. He had pizza. He was like, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to do this the way that they would want me to watch. And we're going to continue this. And then we finished the third night.
Poured the country gravy over the pizza.
Country gravy, yes. Yeah. And all. And then finished it over 3 nights. And then the next day he came home from work and he said, I'm just so sad that we can't keep watching that documentary. He loved it.
That's great.
He also loves to make fun of birders and like the hardcore birding. So that was right up his alley. But it was so cool because he has talked about that every day since we watched, which for the past week, he was so happy with it. And I finished, and I mean, exactly what y'all were saying. I was like, wow, this is the coolest depiction of the joy of watching birds that I've ever seen put together. And I had no idea that's where I was going to feel at the end of the movie when it started. But it was awesome. We both really loved it.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I'm not a fan of the big year kind of thing. Like, I mean, I know people do it and it's just not my thing. I've known it, and I've ticked off birds all my life, and it's just changed as I've gotten older and stuff, how I interact. But I think you pulled all the thread together in the way that I thought was like the really, how I think, it's in the end, it's all about just the joy of hanging out with birds and bird people and all this stuff, and being in the forest or on the beach or even on a boat. It's just, it's a great way to interact with the world through birds. I think you guys got
said it perfect. On the boat or after when we were interviewing you said it perfect. You were like, yeah, it's just like, it sounds kind of corny, but it's really just about getting outside and enjoying nature,
Right. No,
that's kind of where we landed too. Like, I haven't made an eBird checklist I've made maybe one eBird checklist last year because Quentin would just make them and send them to me. Yeah. That was, I don't know. He knew how to do it. But Quentin, have you made an eBird checklist?
No, I haven't, and it's kind of like
the last checklist.
I'm like rehabbing right now. It's not to say I'll never make one again because I don't know. It probably didn't come through in the movie, but we dogged on eBird pretty hard. But we understand it's like a great it's a great citizen science tool. Obviously, it's great for all that. But like,
Right. Yeah.
the way we were
Yeah.
using it was just, for listing, and like this is kind of my rehab right now. I'm not listing birds. I list them in my head a little bit.
You're
I'll be like,
detoxing from.
exactly, I'm
Yeah.
detoxing. I'll list things I see in my head. I'll take note. I saw an owl today.
Are you going out birding now?
What's that?
Are you going out birding now?
I would say that now I don't specifically go out birding, but I'm just like, whenever I'm outside, which is very often, like I'm always birding. You can't turn it off. It's like,
Yeah.
it's a disease.
Once it's there.
It's
it's
I'm
forever.
always doing it, and I'm
it's
okay
when-
with it.
Yeah, it's when you're walking around with friends or whatever that don't do birds, and you're like, "Oh, purple finch," or you start pointing stuff out that you're like,
Yeah.
they look at you like you're ill, and you're like, "Oh crap, I better turn that
Yeah.
off." I'm
You're
with
like, "Ah, I gotta
civilians. I can't
Reel this
be
in a
like
little bit.
just put internal kind of thing that's going on,
Yeah,
especially
Yeah.
driving.
I bring my binoculars like when going fishing and stuff, and that's kind of the extent of my
Yeah,
birding. So I'll
yeah,
go out
exactly.
fishing, and I'll have my binoculars there and just observe what's around me while I'm fishing.
So yeah, this spring, like we went for migration in the Midwest. We went out a couple times just to see some warblers and all the migrants that are coming through. We specifically went out for that. We weren't trying to one up each other or see how many we could get. We were mainly just like kind of reliving last year. We're going, oh yeah, I remember seeing that one last year. Like, oh, we got better looks this time. Just enjoying it more a little bit,
Hey, Life List friends. I am stoked. It is autumn, and the smooth blue asters here are popping. They are covered in Huron sachems and other pollinators. Lots of butterflies in the yard. And we're starting to get some fall migrants here. I got my first ever yard olive-sided flycatcher. That was a thrill. I'm excited to talk about that, but I'm also excited about our Patreon. It has taken us a while to get this up and humming, but it is humming now. If you haven't checked it out, I'd really recommend you go take a look on the site, check out our Patreon. You'll get some extra content there. We're doing a bunch of different things, and you'll get more kind of an insider's look at what me and Molly and Alvaro are up to, and stuff that we don't get to talk about on the pod that just doesn't make its way on there. So check it out. You can become a boom chachalaka, a gadfly, a timberdoodle. Any of those we really appreciate. So go check us out on Patreon. We would love to have you as a Patreon member. Thanks for listening. Do you guys have any kind of preconceived notions of about birders going into the year? I'm sure that as you were thinking, obviously it's about the birds, it's obviously about the journey, and I'm sure that to some degree you knew it was going to be about the people as well. Did it end up being more about the people and the birders themselves than you expected? Or was that kind of a goal as you were going into it?
That's a good question. Probably like half and half. Like, obviously, it's such a big cultural component of motives, why people are birding, what, everyone has their reasons why. And so that became definitely like a big part of it. But also it's really about the birds, honestly, it is at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
it's like,
I would say we maybe didn't think it would be about the people as much as it was, but then, quickly it was like, oh, yeah, this is very interesting. This is good.
Yeah, because it's obvious the footage, like how I think it's cool how you have the rough footage, that one would get with a standard camera, but then you've got high quality footage as well, and it's cool because it's like people get to see kind of what you might see in the field, and then it's like this is what when it's really good. This is what there was a couple things like the black-backed woodpecker shaking around. I was like, oh, man, that is some eye candy. And then he was like all
Slow-mo.
kind of wobbling. Yeah, slow-mo wobble. And then like there's the Western meadowlarks. It's like looked like it was like a frozen winter day, if I remember it right, kind of dawn maybe. And like one pops its head up and then the other pops its head up and it's like pop, 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 like popcorn, you know. And I was like anybody, you know, if you don't know anything about birds, you know, you could watch that footage and just be like, this is fun to look at. So I thought the editing part of the film was as interesting as the film itself.
Yeah.
And yeah, how did you guys manage that part, the film editing and the music? The music was really good.
That's all Owen.
It was like we had these old camcorders, like from 2008. I think the camcorder model is from. It's like from some old Panasonic camcorder. We have 5 of them now because like sometimes we'll just completely crap out on us because they're so old. But so like from the beginning, I knew I wanted to have like that retro feel because I knew we would be talking about it retrospectively, and that kind of helps like sell that it was like in the past a little bit, if that makes sense. And then like, but you have to do the birds justice with, you know, some proper like 4K, you know, natural history footage. And so it's kind of fun to cut between those, like you said, because like if you're in the field, you know, you might see it's kind of an accurate representation of what it's like to go birding, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's almost like raising your binoculars up, you know?
Yeah, it worked. And people like were saying, yeah, it was like, you know how you just see the dot, then you put the binoculars up and then you got that super view. So it's like, that's.
Have you guys seen the documentary The Birders with like Diego and Keith Ledzinski?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, in Colombia. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
I think they did a great job of like that's I've never been down there, but it seems like that might be like a pretty realistic representation of what you might see. Like nothing was like over sensationalized or
Right.
No,
like
it is good.
Yeah.
It's very
it felt
good.
like you were going birding with them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
You know, this last weekend, I did 4 pelagic trips in a row. Actually, 2 of them on the very same boat out of
I'm going to throw up
Half Moon
just
Bay.
thinking about that.
And one of them, we actually saw the Guadalupe Merlet. I hope you don't faint. And it was really funny because everybody had seen the movie, you know, and we all getting on the boat and, you know, and then I'm introducing Chris Hayward and everybody goes, Nigel. It's like, and Chris is like, oh, bloody hell. And we're going to make him a shirt. I'm not Nigel. I'm Chris. But
That's so
he loves
funny.
it. He's become like a character. I mean, like people are almost want to like see it happen live. Chris pointing out clock directions for 10 hours straight. It's like, it's funny. And it's, you know, he's a good sense of humor and all that. But like, that level of resonance to me is like the fact that you go on a boat trip and everybody's seen the movie. Like, I mean, it'd only been out for like a 10 days, week. I don't know. It's really interesting. Like, it's like a cultural shift or some, you hit it right at the right time with the right, you know, art. It's just like something really kind of, I've never seen it, something like this quite like. We've talked about other movies about birders stuff. They've not like been so, like you said, for the people have seen these movies and have kind of like, you know, gotten to, get into even the characters that in the movie.
There's definitely been other birding films, right? But there has not been any with this much profanity or this many bongs lying around in the background.
That seems to be the most of the response has been pretty positive, but most of the negatives are mostly just about our personalities, and that's fine. You know, we can't change that. But
we were just being how we are.
Was there anything? I guess like one thing that I wish, maybe slight regret, is the playback. I wish I was more clear that maybe like we didn't use playback for the last like 4 or 5 months of the year.
Yeah,
I think some people were pretty upset about that we used playback, but we were just being honest. Like,
it was to show, you know, because it's kind of something we learned from other birders. Like, I would say January, we probably didn't use playback at all in January. We just didn't know it was okay. We didn't know it was like a thing that worked. And I think we had met somebody in Texas who was doing it, and we were like, you're allowed to do this? And it's...
Yeah, and then most birders use it, yeah.
a lot of birders
that's
do.
what we
Yeah,
found. And some
Yeah.
people even bring
I
like
use it sometimes.
some people even bring like a speaker out into the field, and that was like, we never brought a speaker out anywhere because we thought that was too much. Like,
Yeah, we did use the aux cord in the van a couple times for that woodpecker.
we did,
But-
yeah.
The Sedona's got pretty good speakers, I'm guessing. Yeah.
It
Yeah,
does,
yeah.
Stock though, all stock, so it's should be legal. But yeah,
But
it's like
it's kind of an interesting, like,
Yeah,
it's definitely a controversy. People get fired up.
It is. It
Yeah.
is a real hot button. What we've
Yeah.
talked about maybe dedicating an episode just to playback at
Yeah,
some
you
point.
should.
All
I think-
of us are
Yeah, we
terrified
I
should.
to
think
do
it was me who said, like, do we really want to do that?
I want to do it, but I'm prepared. Like, we would definitely get a lot of negative
Yeah.
reaction, no matter what we said.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
certainly like now, like when we're just birding for fun, when we're going out, we're not ripping
Yeah.
playback. It
I
seems to
don't
go
do
hand in
playback.
hand with building a list. Like like when
It
you really
does.
need to see that bird for your list, you're fine with like kind of pushing the edge of that ethical gray area.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a lot of stress and pressure when you're listing, right? And that's one of the things I disliked about that kind of thing. And I think I mentioned it here a lot, that sort of the thing for me where I really realized, was not for me, was when you there's a rare bird and it's like, a couple hours away or whatever, and you want to see it, and you go there, you drive over, you go see the rare bird, but you actually don't see it. And then you're all bummed out, and you're driving home and you feel like, crap. And then I'm like, why am I putting myself through this? I could have just
Yeah.
gone looking for birds locally,
Right.
maybe found a rare bird myself. And I would never feel like bad, doing birds. And I always felt like that was the thing that got me off of the real chasing the birds, was like, maybe I just don't like failure, but it's like you only have so much time in your life. And why
Yeah.
not just be enjoying that whole time with the birds rather than like bummed out listening to sad music, and in your car on the way home crying.
All
What's
by
your
myself
go-to
all over
song?
again.
Yeah, all by myself. Yeah.
What's your I Missed a Bird song?
Yeah, that's a good one. We should have people listening. It's like, what should be? Choose one for me, folks. What's my I didn't see the bird song?
Taylor
Like,
Swift,
what could
something
it
Taylor
be?
Swift, probably.
Yeah, that's like a sad, heartbreak song, it's like,
Mhm.
Yeah, the chase is like it's a double-edged sword, right? Because if you do it and you succeed, it could be amazing, right? It could be, you could go and do it and have an amazing experience, or you could get there and be like, all right, well, we saw it, that was fine. Or you could go and like not see it and suffer for hours while you
Right.
don't see it, and then be like, okay, and now I have the 10-hour drive, back. Great.
right.
And so yeah, it's like, I understand the game, but I'm like you, Al. I'm like, if I got 10 hours, I'd probably rather spend like, half of that time birding around here and half getting something else done,
Right.
Well, if you're doing it in a bigger format, then there's the opportunity cost too, right? Because any amount of time you spend looking for one bird is taking from looking for other birds. Did you all feel
right.
frustrated about missing birds throughout the year?
Yeah, I'd say like the first half of the year,
Yeah.
we don't
Oh,
really
no.
we don't really get too mad about anything, but we would be kind of bummed out.
Yeah. It was especially in the first half of the year where I especially was taking it pretty seriously. I had this thing in the back of my mind. We were going to see every bird that entered this continent, It was like, we are going to, but I had no idea about like, you have to see all these vagrants. You have to see every single one because I just thought, oh, maybe there's like 700 birds that nest here, like that are here all the time. But it's not that at all. It's a wild chase.
Yeah. Yeah.
But after we kind of came off it a bit and we were just like focusing on making the movie and having a good time, then we didn't really get mad about not seeing a bird. Pretty much just
It
got
looked like you
stoked
hit
about
a
seeing
wall.
a bird.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely hit a wall. We did hit a
Yeah,
wall.
it seemed
We
like you
did.
guys hit a wall maybe a couple times, but at some point, I'd be curious to hear about that, kind of where you were at that point in the journey when you kind of hit the wall the first time. We're sort of like, because there's some filming, I'm trying to remember where it was in the movie,
Probably the
but there's
boat trip.
Yeah,
But-
it was Al's fault.
There was definitely like Quentin's expression is definitely like exasperated at one or two points, which is like a very real part of, real part of it.
Yeah, I mean, like anytime you get sick on the road, that's like a extreme low point. And we both got sick several times, and that's like so brutal. When you're sleeping in a parking lot, you're sick. You didn't see some bird that you were chasing, trying to see. There's a clip in the movie where like the van had just died because Quentin. So we were in Mississippi and we had seen something called a groove-billed Ani, and Quentin was starting to get sick. He was getting the flu. He was getting the fever, and then so we thought we were going to get a little bit of exercise. Maybe that'd make us feel better. And so we went and we played pickup basketball with some local kids down in like the Biloxi area. And Quentin had his flu game, his Michael Jordan flu game.
I was sinking
And,
him.
I've never seen him sink a ball like that. It was incredible.
Wow. He was unconscious, basically. Just like,
yeah, he was out of his body, just sinking, just 3 point. And then we went in the van and we ran the fan because Quentin had a fever all night, and then the van died. And then so we woke up, Quentin was sick, and the van was dead.
yeah.
So like
It
that's
was
a
the
low
worst.
point.
Yeah, that was a
Worse
low
than
point.
missing a bird.
Yeah. But
I'd
we did
say
see the
so, yeah.
bird, so it's like pros and cons.
Yeah,
you know?
we saw
Telling
the bird.
birders
It
there.
was still low.
Yeah. We saw it.
Another
Yeah.
one of the times Owen got sick, we were coming off our first trip on the Gulf in January and February to Florida and Texas, and we had been in contact with this guy in Louisiana because we were interested in this bird. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called an ivory-billed woodpecker. It's allegedly extinct. And so we'd been in contact with this guy in Louisiana who said he had seen the bird 5 times, and we were going to go interview him
Wow,
and search with him.
That's a lot of times.
Exactly, yeah. So we were like, oh, nice. We'll go meet with this guy. Worst case, it's just a funny time. And we get there and Owen's starting to get sick. Like we show up, I think it was Monroe, Louisiana. We found a Cracker Barrel and we were posting up there for the night. We were to meet him at a Circle K at 4 a.m. We got there super late. It was probably 10, 11 p.m. to the Cracker Barrel. Owen's getting the flu. He's stricken with the flu. And so he decides it'd be a good idea to take a double dose of NyQuil and then sleep it off in the parking lot. And then so in the morning, we wake up and we go meet this guy, and Owen's alive, but we didn't exchange words until we got to the place we were meeting this guy. And so then the
Like,
whole
not
day,
really functioning.
yeah, he's not functioning. We spend 6 hours with this guy in the woods, just tromping through the sludge in the woods, the swamp. And Owen's operating a camera the whole time. I don't know how he did it because he's just high on NyQuil in the woods looking for a bird he's definitely not going to see. That was maybe not a low point, but a point of like, what are we doing here? This is
crazy.
Interesting that interview didn't make it into the final cut.
I was thinking that too. Yeah.
There's something more. There's something more coming down the road. A deeper dive, perhaps.
Stay tuned.
Ooh, so that's quite a
Juicy.
tease.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, I definitely want to hear what it was like interviewing a bunch of birders for the year. In my friend circle, it was a regular conversation as you would put something on social media and people would be like, yep, I was there that day. I saw them around. So, what was it like walking up to birders with a camera and asking them questions about birding throughout the year?
Birders love to share. That's one thing we learned is like, they're so passionate and they love to share, which is great. Like sometimes they share too much, but most of the time it's awesome. So it's really easy to go up and ask some questions. Most people are more than happy
That's pretty cool.
to share anything,
Just tell them you're making a movie, and they're more than happy to share with whatever.
Oh my
Did
God.
you start getting recognized as the year went on?
Yeah,
And people
definitely.
knew who you were?
Yeah, Quentin definitely in birding spots. It was hurting us. It was helping us and hurting us, the social media stuff, because it got us a bunch of access, and we got a sponsorship, and we got access to interviews because of it. But also it started hurting because we couldn't just be under the radar at the birding spots.
Quentin is distinctive looking too. He's sort of like a swallowtail kite or something.
He's got a conspicuous hairdresser.
Yeah.
You could probably like measure his hair at different times and see if anything has been spliced into the movie
Reading
from
plumage.
a different period of time. And I think it's all true. It's all chronologically correct. It's like, hey, Molly, one thing I just want to say, kind of like to your question though, is like, having been interviewed, and a lot of people ask me, what prompts did they give you? It's like nothing. It's like, here's a bunch of questions. And, when they asked me about like seasickness, I just, it was, the answer was not truthful, but it was obviously the answer to be given at the time. People do get seasick on boats.
That's like a pretty good strategy for getting a bad interview, is sitting somebody down and saying, okay, question 1, question 2, question 3.
Right.
That's a pretty bad recipe. But I think it was your idea. I'm giving you credit for that. You were like, I think, wasn't that your idea? Talking about, I'm gonna say almost nobody gets seasick.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think
I think he brought it up.
Yeah,
I was like, that's a great idea.
You just asked, like, do people get seasick or, on the boat or whatever? And because we had the interview after the boat and I knew you got seasick so bad, I just kind of had my little chirp there, like that, like, because I knew you could take a joke, and I had no idea where it was going to end up. But, I've seen somebody like say the only inaccuracy in that movie is the guy that says people don't get seasick on boats. They didn't get the fact that it was
that
a
guy
joke.
doesn't know what
I
he's
have a
talking
huge
about.
smirk on my face,
Yeah.
But they also asked me, what's the weirdest things to ever happen to a boat? And I said, one time we had 2 guys come on board. One of them was throwing up all day, and the other one, fell over and, like passed out halfway through the trip. That was kind of weird. And you guys started laughing, I think, at that point.
You had the defibrillator out and everything. You were ready to go.
That's right.
That's incredible. That's the kind of guy you want on your pelagic birding tour.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ready to shock funny. You unnecessarily. Yeah.
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 I was going to ask Alvaro if your signups have just plummeted in the past couple weeks for pelagic.
I hope not.
Well, you're redeeming him now because you're just holding a defibrillator.
Yeah.
No, things have gone well, and I think people get. I mean, the fact that the boat crew is all like, some of them have already seen the movie, like just the fishing.
Yeah.
And the captains and stuff, and the other one's like, we're gonna see this movie. Oh my God, like new Captain Pete's on there. It's like they're all so excited, and everybody's kind of excited about just the fact that also that other people are watching it. Like that it's not just like a thing that nobody has seen. Like I think that's kind of interesting. But yeah, so far so good. I mean, we have had people seasick this weekend, it did happen. And then we had a Hardy group that just like I was like, Captain, please, put the boat into the sideway to the swells because nobody's seasick. We got to get one down here, just to.
Nobody's farted
They're
yet.
so hardy. Yeah. They're like, we obviously don't do that again. Like, I mean, you have to point out when things are jokes sometimes because people don't get it.
Yeah.
But
I don't know how you guys don't get seasick. That is incredible. You guys are built different. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think I used to get more seasick, and it kind of.
Is it one of those things like if we did another one, we wouldn't get because you build up a tolerance, or is it?
It
sometimes
seems like
some question.
Yeah, some people that seems to happen. Other people, it just doesn't matter. They go at they look at a boat and they're getting seasick.
When I was editing that section, when I was hearing, I would hear the noise of the engine and
Guadalupe Mirrorlet.
When I'd hear that, I would definitely start about to pass out.
Yeah. I really think it was almost like too perfect that you passed out. I think you were dehydrated or something, or maybe but in any case, you did pass out for like a few seconds, it wasn't like a hugely dangerous thing, it seemed, but it was exactly when the Merlet, showed up.
I've had, when I get nauseous, sometimes I'm like one of those fainting goats, I guess. It's happened twice before, 2 or 3 times. Right. So I saw the bench and I was like, oh boy, I better brace myself for this one. Yeah, and I didn't have any water because it was in the middle of the boat where all the covered part of the boat. What do you call that? The cabin?
Yeah.
That's how much of a boat guy I am. The cabin.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you
House.
couldn't walk in there because that's like a whole expedition in its own right going in there. I couldn't get my water.
Yeah.
That's like 40 steps or
Oh,
something.
Man, you should have asked me. I would have gotten your water. I would have
should've.
gotten your water. Come on.
I gotta say, I'm surprised that you guys claim to be such novices around boats because your boat building skills are, I mean, unparalleled from what. Yeah, like I mean, put your hockey skills to use there. I'm guessing Quentin is the goalie, but I'm not sure. But the goalie stick was out. That was, I mean, those boats you got after for the least bidder, and that was really some fine craftsmanship there.
Yeah, I'd say we're better engineers than we are sailors, for sure. And that was about
Wow, that is damning with faint praise right there.
Yeah.
That's about our
That's
limit
what
for
it is.
seafaring vessels is taking a little ways out into the marsh.
But you like fishing, so do you just avoid boats? You just like all land fishing, like fly fishing or
Yeah,
something? I mean, will you not get in a canoe or something just to go and get a little closer to those
definitely.
fish?
The
Definitely
funny
getting a
thing
canoe,
is,
for sure.
Okay.
the funny thing is, I think it was 4 days after our pelagic with you that we were on another boat. We were on a ferry out to the island to see the scrub jay. Is it Santa Cruz Island? Yeah, and so it was not but 4 days later, and I kind of had to talk Owen into it. I was like, hey, listen, like it's a bigger boat, like it's only an hour. We got the tickets for free, like we have to say yes to this. But that one went a lot better. I think it's just, I don't know. We'll see, but yeah, I mean, fishing, we're going to have to get over it, I guess.
Yeah, we're just going to have to man up or something.
Yeah, lightweights,
It's
like you
tough.
said.
Lightweights. Alvaro said it best, we're lightweights.
Lightweights.
I've
That's
gone
funny.
through that whole situation too because I used to go fishing a lot and was getting sick on boats and got into birding and was too scared to go on a pelagic and went out to see that jay and took the ferry and it was okay. But then I chickened out going on a ferry in Washington at one point. We had like bought tickets and we're going to cross and I just was too terrified to be sick. And now I just take a ton of medication and I'm fine, but I'm scared to back off at all.
Yeah.
Totally out of it, but
Yeah.
at least it works.
Molly and I are about to go on like a 24-hour one, like
Yeah.
in like a week or so.
Oh,
That's
really?
intense.
Yeah.
It is intense and I'm a little nervous because I'm going to have all my medication and not sleep for a night.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about how that goes.
Sleeping's not barely even optional, unfortunately.
Do you take
Best of luck
is this
with
the
that.
beanbag thing?
Yeah.
Do you take
Yeah,
these
George and I need
bean
to
bags
talk
and
about
sleep on
this.
these things, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Should be
we'll see.
interesting.
And
Yeah,
yeah.
y'all can come.
Yeah.
I think
I'm
we're
busy.
busy,
I'm
right?
super
I think
busy.
we're
Really?
yeah.
Have
I mean, you
some
might get a
navel
lifer.
gazing
Oh
to
my
do.
God.
Super busy.
I'd
Yeah.
be scared to go on a 24-hour trip like that, you know? I mean, partly, one of the things is like with those trips, like there's a whole bunch of like nothing until you get to the good spot, right? And on a boat, when there's nothing going on, it's kind of Dullsville, you know? It's like, I mean, you could, especially if you're away from internet, you can't even look at your phone. Like that's
Yeah.
one thing. So, but when it's hot, it's hot. It's just so it's to me, some of the best birding on earth is to be on a boat with like hundreds and hundreds of seabirds all around you. And,
Yeah.
but then that
Oh,
coming
Alvaro.
back sometimes.
Videos you had this past week of
Yeah.
shearwaters and cutting through them
Yeah, the
Yeah.
numbers was pretty
was
staggering.
That was
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I
yeah, we
mean,
were like-
you see that and you're like, I'll do anything to get out and see those kinds of numbers.
50,000 birds or something.
Yeah, we
That's
don't have that on the
wild.
Atlantic very often.
No.
Yeah,
No.
Not
But
as much.
what if you guys were like, okay, now that you know more about birders and birding and yearless, are there like either places you would have liked to have gone to that you didn't, or people that you would have liked to interview that you couldn't, or that because just that kept coming up and it just didn't work out, or you think it was just you're totally satisfied?
I'd say we're mostly satisfied. I mean, it would have been, I think it would have been cool to do an interview with Ken Kaufman. That would have been nice.
Right.
And I think we could have. It just didn't quite work out. But I think we're going to hang out with him at the festival next year. So We had met him last year, but we just didn't get a good interview with him. He was kind of like our white whale, I guess.
Right.
And then as far as like places, can you think of any places we didn't go to the Northeast at all. Yeah, but we don't really regret that, just because at that point we were.
I'm trying to not take offense, but that's fine.
No, it's just because we were so worn down with like the whole, and we knew we'd have to sleep at Cracker Barrels up there, or it would be a struggle to find free camping. It's not like
public land and
the place itself. It's more of like the struggle it would have been for us.
Logistics.
Yeah.
Yeah. More populated, like harder to find camping. And I think we probably left like 20, 18 birds on the table maybe by not going up there. 15, somewhere around there. You guys know better than us, but
a handful of birds for sure.
Yeah.
And we missed a lot of easy birds, like swallowtail kite. Still never seen one. Just our timing was.
That's just embarrassing.
That's embarrassing. Boys, like a big year.
Oh, because you were in Florida in winter.
Yeah.
It's good to have some dragons to slay, you know? Yeah. It's good to have some dragons to slay.
That's
the
a good
cuckoo,
one too.
Yeah.
The cuckoo. The black-billed cuckoo.
Yeah,
those
never
sneaky
saw
things.
Never saw that one.
Too sneaky.
But one day you're gonna be like doing something else, visiting Florida or something, and swallowtail kite's gonna go over. Like I think you might shed a tear. You might just go like, oh shit, it's like so beautiful, and and it took me this long to see it. Yeah. But it'll be cool. Like it'll happen one day. And
it'll be a little bitter and a lot sweet.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that day.
Yeah.
It'll probably feel about the same when you see an ivory-billed woodpecker.
Yeah, just another bird.
Yeah.
True.
I got a picture. I got super high quality footage finally of this bird. I don't know what it is. That's like
I mean, clearly y'all are the ones to go get super high quality footage.
Yeah.
Just stake out in there.
Well, I guess I wanted to ask you what you have coming up. Your book is out. Sounds like you've got some other projects in mind. So maybe we have ivory-billed footage in our future.
They're going to rediscover all the extinct birds of the world.
Definitely can't promise that. But there's something there for a story.
The book is like available through Amazon. Is that the best way to get it? Or is there do you guys do a direct thing? We'll put all the links and everything, on here. But,
I mean,
so
you mean this book right here?
Sales are going to spike big time.
Heck yeah.
Yes, that's the beauty.
Yeah, well, you should tell us about it too.
What is that book? What's it called, Quentin?
It's I'm glad you asked. It's actually a field guide of all the birds that we saw last year that I painstakingly drew each one in full color. Let me just pull up Albro. You're gonna like this page. Get there.
It's I love that. I mean there you go. Oh, I see some seabirds there.
That right there, that's nice. Owen's favorite bird. What's a Guadalupe?
Oh, there you go.
God.
There Guadalupe Merlet.
Oh,
but we just we made this. It's like in the style of a field guide, but it's basically like the story of the year in the form of a field guide with a bunch of stuff that I think is funny in there. So some people think it's funny.
and
I'm proud of it.
It's got it's got QR codes to get to the videos, right?
It does, yeah.
Yep.
There's Owen worked that in. It's interactive. What do you call it? Multimedia. It's funny, yeah.
Buzzwords.
Do you have any scratch and sniff or anything on it? Because that would be like super.
That would have been so
think about it for the next edition. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll
That's
let
a good
you
idea.
let you figure out what smells you might want to put. Pine smell, that would be an easy one. Here's
spilled black beans in the van.
Yeah.
Black beans in the van.
Decaf coffee.
Yeah.
Wow.
Brake smell like going down a hill somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Some brake fluid, some country gravy. Don't forget that country gravy.
Barrel. Cracker Barrel. How lucky were we that Cracker Barrel was in the news too?
Oh yeah.
That's a
the
big
logo
win.
thing. Yeah,
really
the logo.
dovetailed.
Funny. Yeah.
Just Cracker Barrels just all over the place.
Yeah. People are up in arms.
We should all buy
too.
stock in that place. Like it's
I know.
just from this interview alone, people are gonna go eat there way more often.
Yeah.
It is absolutely brilliant to do a story of a big year in a field guide as well. That's really cool.
Yeah, I love that.
At what point did you decide that you were doing that?
It was when we were identifying a Chihuahuan meadowlark. Because we had this big, thick guidebook. It was National Audubon Society's Birds of North America. It's like a big, thick orange book. And we just lugged that around everywhere. And we'd seen on eBird, there's this bird called a Chihuahuan meadowlark. And we're looking through the book and we're like, what? It's not even in here. Is this like the kids' version or something? So we identified it through Merlin. And then it was during that whole thing with the, to separate a quiet bird, one of these meadowlarks, you have to count the number of white tail feathers on the thing. And so we're, it's like we're the FBI basically, drawing on this image we got, counting the tail feathers. And it was right then and there we were like, this would be funny if we just made our own field guide of all this, the way we saw it, and just work in, our stories, and then also some useful information as well. Like, if you read this book, you might learn something, but not
don't overload it.
Yeah, it's not overwhelming.
It's like
So cool.
just enough learning.
Yeah,
just enough.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, it's
nice.
Yeah, that's. I think when I started watching the movie, Kat, my wife, who's actually she went to art college and all this stuff, and she's a real visual kind of person. And she's not a real bird person. She's an outdoors kind of person. And I said, I want to watch this crazy movie. And then she's looking at it and she goes, this is really creative. This is like really well done. It's like appealing. It's visually like, and so the fact that you guys also took that and made the book and also the, even the various animations that happen in the movie, it's like it doesn't take, rocket scientists to realize you guys are really creative folks. Like, I mean, I can just see that, when you're famous, like in a few years, like you're doing stuff with like Steven Spielberg and stuff or whatever. No, I'm just joking. But you do other projects that we'll be so proud of you that you picked our little weirdo set of people to talk about in your first project. That's like really cool because I just know you guys are going to do other good stuff. It's just clear. I mean, it's like I have confidence in you. So
well, thanks for pumping our tires.
Yeah, we need that.
Yeah, you hinted at some more footage that you might release at some point. Do you want to give any folks ideas about when that might be or anything you have coming up, or are you sort of letting it percolate and just going to let it come out as it comes out?
We're kind of workshopping finishing out like a short film on the ivory-billed woodpecker, kind of like I think we're talking about going down this winter and doing a bunch of proper interviews. We're not living out of a van, so we can do it up justice, and go search for some folks and kind of tell that story. It's kind of like a conservation story too, because it's a big failure, it's a big, beautiful bird and it's gone. So there's like that element of it too.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
Well, at least some people don't think it's gone, right? That's part of the
exactly.
UFO kind of Bigfoot.
There's some good conspiracy stuff in there too.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
I think that prior to the bird names issue, that came up last year, the year before, the ivory-billed woodpecker quote rediscovery was the biggest, most divisive thing to happen within birding / ornithology when that happened, and it remained like it's been 20 years since the kind of that particular incident
when they announced that it was rediscovered, and then everybody was
supposed to be really. Laura Bush was supposed to be the one that did it, but it started leaking out, and then they had to expedite it. Anyway, that'll be a fascinating.
That'd be cool.
Really fascinating thing to follow. So we look forward to that. And folks, you say you guys plan on being at a bird festival or two?
Yeah, we'll be at the biggest week next year. Hanging out up there.
Really cool.
I saw you guys thank your family big time at the end of the movie. They must have instilled some love of nature in you guys back in the day when you were kids too, I assume.
Back in St. Louis, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it started like growing up in this house. There was an empty lot next to us, and it was just overgrown with, weeds, and it was basically just like a natural plot of land, and so we would just go over there every day and find cool bugs, like just two
Right.
brothers finding bugs in the field next door, and that's kind of. I'd
That's
say
all
that
we
kind of
did.
that kind of started everything.
We'd catch a big catfish in the afternoon, and in the morning we would go we'd catch a praying mantis, and we were just wild.
Yeah,
Outside for sure.
Yes, I always think that bugs are the actual entry to nature for a lot of kids. It's like birds and other things are kind of more complicated. But bug you can grab, you can look at it, let it go.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
that's neat.
So this is a podcast for folks in the birding world. You have a foot into the birding world, but you also have a foot in the world outside of birding. So please tell us what the reaction has been like for folks who have no idea about birding that have seen the documentary.
It's been overwhelming, I'd say, the amount of people who have reached out and said, I just downloaded Merlin, or I just bought a pair of binoculars, or I just dusted off my old, my grandma's old pair of binoculars, or a few messages that were, pretty sweet were like somebody saying, I used to go birdwatch with my grandma, like when I was a kid, and then I thought it was like not cool, and so I didn't do it for 20 years, and then I picked it up again. Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool to hear.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Just got to get out there.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for doing this so much. It really, we were very excited to have you guys with us. So thank you for joining us today.
Yeah,
We're honored.
This has been awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody, for listening to Life List. We will be back again soon with another episode. Take care, everybody.
See ya.
See ya.